Welcome back to Workers and Resources. Let's get this construction industry finalized. Let's get our rail hooked up. And let's hopefully get this area supplied with enough workers where we can continuously build it up. And have our own people here. Because then we'll be making our own gravel. Gravel, while it maybe doesn't sound that expensive, will be the first thing on our way to start producing cement permanently, and maybe we can export that. We'll still need coal for that, but yeah, basically an export resource in addition to fuel and bitumen. We started construction for the rail line over here, which should complete this episode. We have enough materials to build it, we have enough construction effort to build it. The tunnel boring machine should get that done quite quickly. So I'm hopeful. Very hopeful. Meanwhile, the other thing that's happening is we are driving vehicles with personal cars filled of, well, we're driving personal cars that are filled with foreign workers into this area so they can construct our industry. And that's going to take a bit. But since we have road cranes, it shouldn't be that bad. It's just something that takes a while. Once these two finish, we can start bringing in resources by train, and we also need to bring in more vehicles, basically. I should maybe start with some trucks already. The hull trucks, basically. I can already relocate those. Since I don't think I have any other construction scheduled. Hold it. I do have parking lots scheduled and bridges. I guess I will relocate. I wish I could relocate half of them. I guess I'll buy new ones then. We don't need the dump trucks or the concrete mixers. We will need open and cover tile trucks and road cranes. That's the stuff we do need. Yeah, we'll probably buy new vehicles. I like this parking area quite a bit. We'll have to move all of you into new parking lots, get rid of you and put in a footpath here. Residential buildings need a few more people, but we're getting there. Should be ready to accept people inside Padonin once we start building those. We'll probably turn on Get Citizens to move all of them over when the time comes. Don't bring workers to construction sites that don't have materials. I know they just switched over to the last construction phase, but yeah, please build these first. I guess I could drop, if I had a route, I could drop them off on a stop. This one is done. Walking distance is not that great, but we'll get the platforms set up. And then they basically can build anything, really. That isn't a road connection. As long as they have a footpath to walk along, they should be able to get anywhere. Through here, access to all of these buildings, I assume. But yeah, first we have to build it. And then get a train on the network. And we don't need a continuous supply of workers, we just need a splash of workers every now and then to douse onto all of the construction sites that do have the materials. And I want to see if I can move domestic workers over there fast enough. Which is gonna happen with the DRG, because it drives very fast. Even though, yes, it drives 150 kilometers an hour, so it would be at the speed limit of our rail network. We only want educated workers, no tourists, students or passengers. And then the other platform we can add once we have the connection established and the destination built. And the last stop will be the railway end station, which has fuel, so before they come here and load passengers, they can refuel and should be good to go. Where are you going? What? Why did you go? I guess you went to refuel and drove a very far distance. Maybe I should refuel this distribution office? Maybe at some point. Okay, traffic over here is looking pretty bad. Good thing it's hidden mostly by the houses, but this is not sustainable. We should prevent... They are doing left-hand turns. Maybe I should prevent personal vehicles from entering from this side, because they are doing a right-hand turn, exiting is doing a right-hand turn, but they are doing a left-hand turn into the parking lot, so it's slow. Maybe it's just a temporary issue. I think that might be nothing urgent. The roads over here are built. And now they're complaining about me not being able to hook them up for some reason. Not sure why that one is having issues. Is there a snapping point in the way? Maybe that one. Yeah, there we go. That snapping point was in the way. Construction office for workers is on fire. Didn't call the fire trucks for some reason. Called a helicopter instead. As long as it works. need to finish the warehouses so we can transport machinery locally, and also one construction office so we can carry it. Need one, maybe two more cars to finish that one, and we can set up the open storages, but I also have to wait for the warehouse to complete, otherwise it will send a lot of... Well, I guess I don't really have to wait. I can already set everything up. At least the open house storage stuff, once that one finishes building. Okay, let's pause. Assign the delivery area. Steel prefab panels. Bricks. Boards. No other resources. We'll switch on the warehouse materials once we're there. One more car, please. You're going somewhere else, that's fine. I guess, yeah, one more car should be enough. Sure. Okay, new construction office will finish. That one is receiving 3 cars, because why not? And I guess this will be some open hull trucks and covered hull trucks. 4 open hull trucks, 1 covered hull truck. Steel storage. Bricks and boards. And that's the prefab storage. Okay, let's assign it. Steel, bricks, prefabs, and boards. All neatly assigned. Mechanical and electronic components will be added here in due time. And we probably have to take out a loan to make that happen. Because this is going to be expensive importing that many construction materials right now. Maybe I can set it to not overfill it, but 30% shouldn't be that much anyway. We'll leave it as is. And then this construction office can handle local resource deliveries as well as machinery. And this one will be used for the workers, I guess. Or one of them will be. So this is our CO trucks, hull trucks. No dump trucks in here. Dump trucks will happen once we have our gravel processing and asphalt, etc. Concrete, probably not going to happen. We can have some trucks arrive here by road, but probably also concrete at some point. So yeah, this could be done by local machinery. I just assigned everyone to these construction sites, and I guess the far away ones decided that they wanted to get in some things to do, so... We have to hook up electricity at some point. I need to get in transformer. Probably have the transformer over here next to the rail platform. I need to get the fire station first. If I'm bringing resources here, I should have a fire station. Since we have the road completed now, the fire station is the next urgent thing to complete construction on. And it is so urgent that I will actually use a dirt road so we can build this right away. Let me remove excavators from this and just assign the rest, because the excavators can be brought in from here. And I don't think this will get a helicopter. I think it will have to be manned by personnel. It's too far away for a helicopter to pick up water, and I don't really want to dig out the ground to put in a small lake here. It feels a little bit weird. I guess there's our steel. Locally sourced construction materials, how nice. Warehouse is going to finish, but mechanical and electronic components are not going to be used for a bit. Eventually we will have to make a warehouse unloading platform for citizen goods, which is going to happen here. But there will also be a freezer for meat, as is needed. Might even be two warehouses, because delivery times here are a little bit longer than usual, so maybe a bit of a backup storage could be quite nice. Same setup as this one, whereas here we use the food to make it so that electronic and mechanical components aren't going to get overfilled. I haven't really started importing them. I guess I don't have the money to do that. But yeah, the food in here is not picked up right now. It's just sitting here, basically. So, food distribution can also pick up from this warehouse. I could pick up from the platform itself, but no, we're just picking up from the warehouse. It's a little bit further away. It's fine. Bridge is getting built. It's good. At some point we can turn this into a proper into the proper layout, so the traffic jams become less frequent. And yeah, this parking lot area looks pretty neat. Needs more trees. Tunneling machine is done. Should be laying track now. I guess it's not laying track, it's building the tunnel structure first, which makes sense, after which it will lay track, so. And in the meantime the tunnel boring machine is actually finishing the second tunnel, which will also be constructed, but only one is necessary to actually have the one train running that we need to bring in some workers. And if we can't bring in the workers fast enough, then we'll have to take foreign workers that can be on the train network a little bit longer. We could make a stop in the middle, so we unload the workers and load them back in to reset their timer, basically let them stretch their legs. This is something that we can do to use our domestic workers. And that might happen if this is too long, or if we run into any delays, just to have a little bit more leeway. Okay, so that's more than 30% steel. That's a lot of steel for any construction tasks in this area. Now we just need bricks, prefab panels and boards. And yeah, we'll be able to supply construction materials locally with this construction office. I guess I can... no, I can't assign it yet. Still waiting for workers to finish these ones. Once we have the train platform set up and we know that we can bring people down here, I will shift all of the personal vehicles transporting workers to construction sites down here, and that should speed up construction efforts. But in the meantime, we will have to deal with slow personal traffic or transportation down here, since we decided to build the town very, very far away. Power plant, power transformer is on fire. Not great. But that should be easy to put out. Alright. So no construction on here needed anymore by construction offices. We are doing rail construction with the rail construction office, and that's it. All the other construction is happening at Padonin, our new town. Our refinery is trying to keep up with our demand for money. I don't want to have to take out another loan, but we might have to. This is turning pretty ugly. But the interest rate is going down, so I'm doing something right, I guess. Creating more infrastructure to reduce our interest rate. We're creating a bubble. I think we might... No, we'll probably... Are we going to finish this? Are you going there? You are. So we will finish this. Cool. Construction materials are present on the railway station. We'll grab our workers, assign them here. And once they have built all of that, and we have the railway connection on the other side, we'll test drive our train. We're out of money again. No more imports right now. Oh right, we have another construction phase after that. I forgot. But if we had bricks and boards here, delivery could be a bit faster. I assume there might be a train on the customs house right now trying to load the materials to bring down here. No, it's just a train trying to load chemicals. Chemicals are bloody expensive. How much do we have sitting around in cement? Within a kilometer. Cement. Only 200,000. Let's say 2 kilometers. Cement. Let's say all map. Yeah, it's just... well, 350,000 rubles. That's not much. We do have 500,000 in fuel and 500,000 in steel around here, but the steel is for the rail construction office and the fuel is our backup storage for domestic fuel supply. We're exporting fuel regularly anyway. Should I produce more electricity to try and get ourselves out of the hole? Pollution isn't too bad. The amount of workers inside the power plant is horrendous, since they're trying to get here by car. I will... oh, people are leaving here anyway. I was going to say, I will tell you to only work here, kindergarten and the tennis court. We'll wait until you say you have unemployment, and then we'll try and fiddle around with the parking lots again. I can't prevent them walking from here to the... yeah, I can't prevent it. I mean, the only thing I can do is make this footpath too long where they can't actually walk into the power plant. But if I try to put in a... If I try to prevent them from walking here via footpath, like no pedestrians, then they will drive here and then realize too late that they drove here for no reason. I'll keep the workers assigned forcefully to work in this area, and hopefully more of them will go into the power plant and will increase our power production efforts towards export by a bit. And hopefully we don't run into any issues. This will increase pollution. If it gets close to the town, I will reduce production efforts again. I don't want pollution to cause any problems again. I have to be a bit careful. There's the chemicals. Not quite full train, but decent enough. Still have a empty road depot here. Don't remember why, but I don't need an empty one, so just get rid of it. Water substation. Wait, why are you bringing water to a substation inside the commercial district? And why are you bringing one to the heating plant water substation? Do we have a problem with our water network? Oh, we didn't hook that one up ever. Okay, where's the other one? Commercial district. That one should be hooked up. The throughput is just too high, is it? Wow. Okay, let's check the piping. 26 cubic meters. Let's check the overlay for water flow. Hello, Code Monkey. Yeah, water pressure in here is less than a bar, which is not great. It's still 3.8 here, but apparently this pipe is too small to allow enough throughput. So I guess we'll increase the pipe and hope it solves it. Otherwise we should have enough. The residential buildings use up a lot, yeah. Alright, this will potentially cause issues locally, but hopefully we can get it constructed quickly. We'll use a medium pipe, 56 cubic meters. I do have a water tower which should be generating enough water pressure for the area, at least I hope it does. That's not how I want you to connect this. That's how I want this. Increase priority. This one is urgent. Oh, I guess I removed the excavators completely from this assignment. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Not the road construction, just the excavators, and this one is empty, so only one construction office left. So yeah, water pressure shouldn't be the issue. I think it's the pipe not being sufficient. We only have a throughput of 35 cubic meters here at a pressure of 4 bar. Hopefully this works. Otherwise these people are going to have a bad time. It will take a bit, but... yeah. And there was also something with the heating plant, so I did not hook up this water substation, so that one is constantly being supplied by trucks, which it shouldn't be. We'll drop in another water switch. There's another one here. So these two need to be supplied. This one I can supply from here, I guess. But I think I'll make another water switch and supply it from both of these from that one. Here. Nope, large pipe. There shouldn't be that much water consumption here, but it's a prison. There could be quite a lot, so we'll be safe a little bit. And then over here for the heating plant. When the water delivers, yeah, I guess they might have access to running water from a different area. I guess this one only has access to both of these. But as soon as people have access to running water, they want running water forever, it feels like. So this is just going to go through the water really quickly, and we need to establish running water again as fast as possible. Thankfully it's not going to be very expensive. Let's check our Pardunin town. Last construction phase, 22 workdays. 1 car with 4 workers will finish this train platform. And then we'll do a test run for our passenger train transporting domestic workers to this area. Of course, as soon as we finish the tunnel constructions. And this one is still waiting for bricks. We do have bricks locally, but I guess there's already some trucks on their way that got sent before the material actually got delivered. And the station is up. No power? Of course not. Man, could you imagine what would happen if these signals required power? Ooh. Now we have to wait for the train tunnel. And then we can send the train out. That looks very polluting. It's creeping up. It's creeping up on the town. It's probably too much. But as long as it's not red, it should be okay. Once it turns red, people are going to die off really quickly though. Where's the pipe? Has been dug out. Just a little bit of steel and it'll be done. Should be on its way, right? Currently on its way to load from the customs house. That's the downside of loading resources directly from the customs house. If you don't have a lot of money, they might get there right when you don't have any money left. Thankfully, those didn't have that problem, so they were just loaded and had enough. These connections, on the other hand, might have that problem, so we'll see. But they are not that urgent because they're still running on water conservation mode, so barely any water consumption. But I guess since I'm using running water on all of these, might as well hook them up as well. Flow rate right now is 35 cubic meters, less than 40. That will go up again as soon as we establish this connection. This pipe should have no trouble handling all of that. We'll see once it's set up. Don't think the water pressure is a problem either, but it might. It might be. Okay, our construction task is delayed because we don't have enough bricks. And we can't import any right now. Our brick storage inside the construction office is not that great. I could reduce the internal prefab panel storage and increase the brick storage. But that doesn't really help. It's only an issue for tunnel construction right now. And we don't have the money to deal with that anyway. You also need bricks, directly from the border, I guess. Well, I think the truck is finally arriving, and then we can finish the warehouse. Just did an export and immediately importing some resources. Or repaying loans. One of the two. Taking out loans is getting kind of expensive. But the interest rate seems to be going down. We're down to 9.8, so apparently we are improving. Take out another 1,000,000 rubles, because why not? Keep things going. Has the pipe been built? It has. Now the water flow rate is sufficient, so apparently the pipe was not large enough for the water pressure we had. The small pipe only had like 0.8 bar, whereas the medium pipe has 1.7. So now the water flow rate is sufficient. Guess it makes sense, but I would have assumed that the water flow rate would be based. I guess we were nearing the maximum water flow rate, so we were running at capacity and actually needed the medium pipe here. Makes sense. We should also be getting brick imports again to finish our rail construction. I want to complete the rail system this episode, if possible. More bricks. I don't think we need that many boards, so let's turn that down to... Bricks have a higher storage volume than boards, so let's increase bricks to 35 and reduce boards to 15, so we can store 92 tons as soon as we use up some of the boards. Or I can just delete some of them, but I won't. Oil is so cheap to import, it's ridiculous. Decent amount of workers. Lots and lots of waiting workers. We need our train to put them to good use. Building up our new town. And once we start making our own gravel, we'll move towards making our own coal, making our own cement, and then maybe making our own iron/steel. And that should make us a little bit more safe in regards to spending too much money on construction materials. Because if you have your construction industry completely autonomous, you can build whatever you want. It doesn't cost you anything. Except, of course, fuel and the manpower that could be doing other things, but if you need food, you build more farms, you build more fields, etc. The vehicles then will be expensive, but you could also make those, but those don't count as construction industry. Alright, more parking lots have been built. Might be time to relocate those so we can put in the footpaths here in this area and extend this area out to match what we have planned here. I'll move some of them out. I'll have to take the long way around because there's no way to turn right here. Get rid of these and put in more parking lots in this area somehow. Maybe bypass this heat exchanger, squeeze through here. The bridge is also finishing up. This one will be a one-way road bridge at some point, but not yet. We'll wait until the construction is complete. Right. Parking lot is empty. Let's get rid of it. And then these remaining cars, wherever they can fit. Anywhere is fine. And get rid of that one. Okay. Now, I was thinking of having 4 parking lots per, well, transfer section, I guess, call it, where there should be footpath traffic available. So, there's a snapping point right there. So what's... Oh, there's a sign here. There's not a... Okay. A 50 zone sign. That zone can end... Should... Oh, we'll have it end here. There we go. And gotta remove the snapping point again. Relocate it. So we have our footpath access here. We have more parking lots. This footpath is not set up correctly yet, of course. We need roads on either end here. And then this is our road to let vehicles leave. I think this might not actually go that far with the parking lot on here. These are just the roads feeding into this system, so that one can theoretically end with this parking lot. If we can make a connection here. Yes. Okay. And then we could have the feeder road do a turn to come around here. And stop the parking lots in this area. That means this footpath could also hook up to the road itself, so they can walk along it. We'll see if this becomes accessible. I think those roads will just end here in a dead end. They will not connect to this one. Otherwise, vehicles can drive out this side and try to enter this road. But they should all leave on this side, so they all drive the same direction. They don't drive opposite ways. I guess... does that make... Yes, it makes a difference. If they drive out here, they have to do a left-hand turn and might block incoming traffic, and I don't want that. So yeah, this will be 2 dead-end roads on this side. We'll put in some trees so it looks fancy. I guess we won't put in trees because there's no room. Okay. Bridge is not done yet. It's missing asphalt. Down to 22 tons of bricks. Hopefully they can complete that in due time and don't take too long. The red pollution is getting towards our residential area down here. And I think this is all air pollution and traffic. It just did a huge swap to becoming dark, deep red. So it's just a power plant. The oil refinery is not producing that much pollution, it looks like. Let's allow full employment in the oil refinery. We don't have that many parking opportunities here. Let's see. Each of these is, let's say, 30. 30, 90, 180, 210, 240, 300, 360, 420. 420 parking lots. They can't all be occupied at the same time. So once a person leaves the work, they have to get to the car first and then leave, and then another parking lot spot will become available for more people to drive here. If these construction offices weren't here, I could make this into more parking, turn this area into more parking lots. But that's not urgent right now. You have trouble. Well, I can't really get you out of there unless I turn all of these into non-one-way roads again temporarily to allow you to leave. This might be the last construction phase before they start laying down the rail. Maybe. We have 2,520 workers here. We have 336 here. So we're nearing 3,000. A third of the way almost towards 10,000. Slowly, very slowly. The warehouse got built. This is only intended for mechanical and electronic components. If I set it like that and I accept deliveries, they will just fully fill it up with like materials. So I think I'll just set them to 15-15 and then drop 70% food in here as a backup storage. Yeah, all of these storages are now filled with resources. So any building construction down here can get the materials locally. Might be a good idea to set up a road construction office down here, but the asphalt still has to come from our other town, so it would just be the machinery, I guess. But I do need to assign them, otherwise they are not going to build these buildings and the roads. You have all the resources necessary, you're just lacking workers. And since we don't have our train connected yet, I will bring in foreign workers and we'll set you up. You won't have any electricity to run an internal gas pump. Well, we do have a gas station up here that can refuel you, so that will be fine. If one of these storages down there is going to catch fire and all of the steel burns up, that would be pretty expensive. Alright, laying the track. We finally reached that phase. And then one more tunnel boring task, plus building the tunnel exit and finishing up construction. How's the power plant doing? I think that has more workers in it. We have a few unemployed people here, so hopefully if a slot frees itself up to accept workers, they can just go over there right away. But still shows that a lot of people are trying to get here by car. I think I have an idea to maybe resolve that. It involves the no personal vehicles sign. If I let them drive here and then try to prevent them from walking here, it doesn't work. But what if I don't let them drive here in the first place? So we don't accept any personal vehicles into this area at all. That means no one should be able to drive here to work. Depending on what the game thinks, it might not also allow them to drive back to where they live. But presumably that should be okay. Maybe this is all that's needed. We have 28 people. So 9 workers per shift. Maybe this is the solution that was needed. We'll see. If they start complaining about missing resources, then they can't actually drive their resources back home. But I don't think that is going to be a problem, I hope. But who knows, we'll see. Down to 600,000 rubles. Again, we imported some clothing. I might have to set up some industries making those ourselves from raw materials. I don't know if the raw materials increased in price a lot, but in rubles things are getting more and more expensive, for sure. I might also have to switch over to US currency. Let's get our rail construction office and finish up some of the railroads that are still waiting for construction. This one is technically not needed. We're only running one train right now, but I want it built. And then this area, one is technically sufficient, but we'll get all of the train routes completed to the customs house, so we have more loading and unloading platforms. We could build this with local workers. We had a train, but I didn't want to wait. Should have waited, because as long as we don't have local workers, this thing is not going to do anything anyway. Yeah, this turnaround was quite nice. Singular bus doing so much for the Republic. That thing is making us more money than any other vehicle combined. Well, maybe not, but it's making us the most money right now. Each delivery of a truck, oh wow, a busload full of workers, it's worth so much. How's the water situation down here? That is holding fine. The other water pipes also got constructed. So we now have running water on either of these as well. And this one is has increased in water consumption considerably. So all these residential buildings are now using a lot more water than before. I think those were hooked up to a different substation already. Yeah. Okay, so it's just that we are draining the water now from a different substation, I guess. We still need a tram end station and a tram depot. End station is technically not necessary. We could use line spacing, I guess. Since they are going to run with electricity, they don't ever have to refuel. But an end station feels like it's more consistent. Everything here has been built. This is not urgent, we only need one entrance for resources right now. We have the option for our workers. Or not, yes, I guess that's mechanisms. Our hull trucks. And then one more for dump trucks, once we have gravel. Concrete mixers, not really, but road cranes definitely. We'll probably run them at half capacity over here. Like even the amount of excavators is maybe a little bit excessive. Almost there. Probably gotta go once more, but yeah, after that the last tunnel shouldn't take that long. I hope. That should be the longer construction task. And once we start laying down the rail in the tunnel, we might actually finish all the way up to the train platform. Okay, let's hook up. No, that one hasn't built yet, but that one has. Right, snapping point. Get rid of these. And that one. and hook up the last parking lot for construction. The bridge finished construction as well, so we can now assign this as a one-way path and get rid of this road. Down here they should have much less trouble entering, because all the vehicles are most likely going to go into one of these parking lots. So traffic down here should be much thinner. And if it has any problems at all, a traffic light would also help solve that. Yep, one more tunnel construction for about 3 tons of materials. Power problem. 2 workers. 8 people unemployed. Are there still people trying to get here by car or something? That shouldn't be the case. I shouldn't have these issues during winter. We'll start importing electricity to make sure we don't run into any heating problems, because I don't want another population drop. We'll let it run like that, I guess. Oh, they're trying to drive through here now. I forgot this road. Right. Well, sorry, but that road's closed permanently. No access to the power plant anymore. Get out. Only work for domestic population. Come on, get lost. Let me remove this road. Well, you'll figure it out in an hour when your travel in vehicle time is up. So you get one more loop, I guess. Enjoy. Now we know where all the people came from trying to work in the power plant, because they all have question marks. Alright, road is empty. Now we should have less unemployment issues here. Will take a while for this to update, but I think now everyone should find employment locally. Unless I missed another road, but I think this one isn't even an access road, so that sign doesn't make any sense over here. It was that road, not that one. So now we only have access from here, and I hope this means mostly residences can still travel back by car, but they can't. No workers from other areas allowed in this. And now we have no one working here. Slowly figure it out, please. We won't change this. We'll have to get used working inside the power plant. First tunnel got built. Tunnel boring machine should be on its way. I guess they are building the exit first, which is fine. And then the tunnel boring machine can do its thing, and we'll lay down the railway. I won't bring any workers to build these tram stops. They can be done by workers that we drop off on the passenger platform. We have to get a footpath, go through here, so everything is accessible. But we don't really. We can also just use the cars that we will relocate into the construction office. Let's get our road construction office. Do more. And that's all we can do right now. We could do some footpaths if we hook them up to the outside. Do I want that? Kinda. Start footpath construction so we can construct buildings, at least the football fields, a little bit earlier. Lots of stuff heading out to this fire. That one can get constructed because of one railroad assignment. But now it can. I said, now it can. What road fork did I forget? That one. Now it can. There we go. Where's the train? Probably heading back right now. Why is there no construction train heading here? Let's increase priority. They're probably heading to some railway construction down here that I assigned. And it's nice that they are doing that, but they should still prioritize the other one. Let's put in the electric substations. We'll have one here. Don't need one in this area. I'll need one for that area for sure. I thought I planned those already. Here's one. It covers all the buildings, even the fire station. And over here we still have to plan that out once we get to that. And the transformer, I thought I would place it here. Doesn't really mesh with how the power line is going, but I don't want to build it over here, do I? It needs to be close enough to the fire station in case it catches fire. Otherwise it's going to be a very bad time for the people here. They are without power for too long. So I think this area is probably going to be the better one. Why am I doing that? Stop it. Dump trucks. Dump trucks I guess is fine. Road cranes, concrete. Yeah, sure. Leave everything assigned. I could remove the haul trucks, but whatever. This is not urgent yet. Should have followed the train line a bit more. Oh, we also are going to drop a high voltage switch just in case we want to relocate the electric wire at some point to another connection. Feels a little bit janky. That feels super janky. That's okay. I will need a second bus platform down there to keep the workers happy. Until I find a way to get some permanent workers in the location. Our money. Maybe I could just drop in another factory somewhere and make an export good. I usually like making clothing. Let's see. Let's check the prices. Fabric, 2000 rubles to buy. Clothing, 6500 to sell. It's a 2-to-1 ratio, so we need twice the amount of fabric for clothing. That means we basically need 4000 fabric to sell for 6500, which is actually a pretty good profit margin. So we could have one of these factories somewhere, and it would take 80 workers, which is 3 large parking lots. And just have that on the network, making our own clothing pretty much. So we would have that, for example, here. And instead of having food in this warehouse, we would have fabric and clothing. So no more food. But fabric and clothing. This might actually be possible. It might actually be possible to build this where it is in walking distance of these residences. They would have to walk along the bridge. Guess that's okay. I'll do some measurement just to make sure. One residential building would be sufficient. So if you were walking, let's take a longer route, see what happens. That's 340 meters, that's plenty. So they will get their footpath access here. Okay, that's not... I'll get their footpath access to the factory. We'll get a gravel road connection because we don't really need any road connection here for transportation. We'll all be train based. And we'll make our own clothing through fabric imports for now. We'll have to relocate the food. It will slowly get used up. I guess we're gonna deliver clothing here now, which we shouldn't. Let's stop the import of clothing, which is going to be too late. Probably. Let's see, chemicals. Yep. 56 tons of clothes. Sure. And that's all of our money. But yeah, hopefully a clothing factory will help money-wise a little bit. If not for export, then it should definitely reduce the import cost by 50%. And it will also provide some employment opportunities locally. I will probably start exporting clothing. I can set that up so we have too much in here. This will not have to hold any clothing anymore, it will all be handled by this one. So we can remove the clothing here. 15. Set the food to 55 instead. Just have to wait for this to all get used up over time. Don't give me warnings about clothing. Give me warnings about clothing and well, not fabric. Thank you. Fabric will come later. I think if I set this to 0, they might not actually pick up the resources anymore. I think there was something like that, so I will set it to 1%, so they know the resource is still technically available. Sorry. This might be incorrect, but I think I remember there being some weirdness going around with that. So leave it at 1%. Which should be small enough where it doesn't actually take any imports, but hopefully large enough where they still pick up the resources. Okay, it's winter. Stop trying to bring foreign workers here. It's not going to work. You can already relocate here, because I assume we are going to have the train line up soon. If they are using the priority, then they will have sent a construction train back here. They did. And that means the tunnel boring machine should become active soon. Only 70 more work days. That's a traffic jam in the tunnel. I have another idea. What if these ones could not leave through here, but they had to leave into this road connection? So we basically force them to enter this above ground road. We'll test that. Make this a one-way road entrance. Reduce this to a T-junction, pretty much. And that should improve traffic flow. And if it works well and doesn't cause too many traffic issues on that end, definitely the cars on the main road do have priority. If it doesn't cause too many traffic issues here, like people trying to enter this area from up here, definitely don't want that. Then yeah, we might make this permanent. Hopefully we have enough materials to build all of this. Footpath already got built. The road is just gravel, so they can finish constructing that without any workforce as well. And then the building itself will take a little bit of time, where we export some materials to then pick up some extra steel, I guess. Okay, construction done. Get all of that started. Looks like we don't have a footpath access right now, which is good. Otherwise there would have been a lot of people walking here directly. 100 people would be a bit too much. We still have to put a footpath in here so they can actually reach the new area. Otherwise this is too long. This is probably going to work. I did see enough space, unless I made a gross miscalculation. Concrete, asphalt, gravel shouldn't cost us anything directly, but steel, gravel, bricks and boards will be bought from the customs house as we have money. Might as well upgrade these roads to gravel. It's gonna take a while before this gets built anyway. Excavators should be delivered by truck, please. 11 more days, after which the tunnel boring will start. And then we'll see. If this is not sufficient, we'll have to see if we can find another way to get the workers onto the bridge. We should be able to walk along the bridge, if I remember correctly. Because they do show to be able to walk into the parking lots right here. It's just that footpathing through here is a little bit long, apparently. We'll get one of the residential buildings hooked up, for sure. And 80 workers from those would turn into 240 productive age workers in total. So we can basically employ almost a full building with just one factory. We're going to be out of money again, which will mean that we will rely on domestic power production. And of course, as soon as we run out of money, we don't have any workers in the power plant anymore. So temperatures are going to drop rapidly. So I have to take out another loan. Damn you, game. Why you are so stupid? Anyway. We have taken out loans quite rapidly now, so now we owe 4.4 million rubles. We can still borrow 14 million. And our interest rate is not increasing, so I think we're still developing in the right direction. However, we have to start developing towards autonomy. Otherwise, this is not going to end well. Clothing and gravel are going to be the first steps towards that. And we always have to keep in mind that we can't use buses. This factory might create a lot of pollution if we're trying to use it for export, but so be it. Should be less than the power plant, I think. Power plant has a pollution capacity of 35.8 tons per year. And it doesn't generate that much money, I don't think. Whereas the clothing factory can do 4.4 tons per year. Much less. Okay, tunnel boring machine should be on its way. If it only was 2 workdays longer, it would be very neat. Unfortunately, it's only 1,335 days. And if you don't get that joke, don't worry. And if we have problems with not enough workers getting here, we still have options to drop in parking lots in the area. However, if we don't have parking lots, then all of the workers will come locally, and they will always, most likely, fully staff the building, which would be ideal. Ambulance not arrived in the village. We do have 2 ambulances available. I guess there was a traffic jam or something. 2 ambulances currently available plus the... oh, 3 ambulances plus the helicopter. I would say that is a sufficient amount of spare ambulances waiting around. Another thing we could produce by ourselves would be mechanical components. But I think we might need to research that. Oh, there it is. Mechanical components are almost a 1-to-1 ratio of steel to material. Slightly fewer mechanical components per steel. So if we check the price of steel, that is 1,300. And I would want to sell it for at least 1,000 to be even. But you can see it sells for 2,000. So making our own mechanical components would also be very profitable. Now for steel, into mechanical components we need an open storage or the internal storage of the factory itself, which can hold 40 tons. That's not enough because that would only be 2 days of production. More fires. Heating plant. Sure. Good thing we have a fire station right next to it. Fire station. Heating plant. Fun. The mechanical component factory could be supplied by the rail network with an open storage. Could have a factory area up here, hook it up to the rail network across the road, have a few parking lots here, and make it work like that. I don't think people would be able to walk to it directly, so they would have to take a vehicle. Unless I try to build it here and hope that I can make a footpath all the way across. Let's say here to here. It could work. It would be close. If we had the factory right here next to the gas stations, that would be a very possible solution. And then some parking lots in the area. Well, no parking lots. We already have parking lots. The resource deliveries would be an issue. Or we build it behind the TV station. Have the rail connection come in behind the power plant. That would have electricity, hopefully. We only need a gravel road because no vehicle would need to drive here. And then we need a warehouse and an open storage if we wanted the resources to get delivered to this location. Open storage and warehouse both have factory connections, so in theory we could hook them up to a cargo train station. But we can also use the medium open storage and use that plus the warehouse's own rail connections to hook them up. Nope. I'll think about a mechanical components factory. It shouldn't be too difficult. But let's see if we can get the clothing factory hooked up first. Now we seem to be able to have footpath access. Yes. One residential building can reach it. The other one seems to be too far away, unfortunately. Okay, let's try again. This is probably a better way to set it up. So if I have the warehouse up here, and then the open storage, that is, no, that's not, it doesn't feel right. This should be the open storage, and then the warehouse should be on that side. Let's try again. So I need the connection, the factory connection from the mechanical components factory to be really far back on that side. So not like that. That would work. And then on the left side I somehow need to have access to the road connection still. That could work. I think this is going to work. If the factory connection can be made. Then we have our road connection and the rail connection from here. And the warehouse itself can just hook up like this. And these rails would need to go across here, not causing too much traffic issues. And hook up into the existing rail infrastructure. And that means probably going past the transformer. Across here. Is it going to be another tunnel? Or are we just going to bridge this? That's too steep of a tunnel. What's happening? Why is it removing the tunnel partially? I'm confused. Okay. That is okay. And we'll have the tunnel exit on this side in parallel to this. So we have a rail line that splits off here and then, oh, or we have a game crash. I guess that is also a thing that can happen. It is allowed to do that. We'll try and get back into it. Last autosave was 4 minutes ago. Unfortunate. Maybe I should just build it further away and have yeah, maybe I should just build it out here, have an easier time hooking up by rail without a tunnel, and then just have people get here by car, since that's kind of the purpose, not having everything in walking distance. We'll leave the mechanical parts factory for now. I don't know if that was the reason why it crashed. I hope it wasn't anything here. This is going to finish construction. The tunnel boring is already done, so this is going to finish the tunnel exit, and then it'll drive back and grab some train, some rail tracks, and we'll have our connection. I guess we'll wait for the train. Left tunnel is done too. Still need to build the exit. But as soon as we have one side connected, we can already send the passenger train out. So, that's what we will wait for now. Try not to have any more crashes. Money consumption is way too high. So I'll try and reduce that. The other thing we can do is we could make alcohol production. Code Monkey. I look forward to digging the tunnels for my town's metro once I plan more of it. Yeah. How do you get a tunnel boring machine for the metro, or is the metro just dug out by people? Because I thought that I was able to maybe hook up a metro system to a rail network. But you can't cross regular train railways into metro railways. So I don't know if there's a connection somehow. Oh, is it really that easy? Could I really have done it with a metro station, how I initially intended it right here? Okay, I didn't do the tutorial for metros, so I shall do that on my own off time, I guess. And I guess I learned something. So I guess I could have had the metro station right here with a metro train tunnel, gone above ground, and then connected it with regular rails. Oh well. I don't know if a train can turn around on a metro platform. Yeah, I think I'll do the tutorial right after the stream. I wanna see. I haven't checked the tutorials in quite a while, so maybe there's some new interesting stuff that I don't know about yet. Maybe I should make a city that can only use metro stations, and then get really annoyed once I reach capacity. Ah, okay. It's very easy to spam click through it and not take any information on board. It does cover manual construction though. Yep, spam clicking through things is very easy to do. Looks like we finished laying the rail. Oh my god, why is this a tunnel? Why is this a bridge, I mean? Don't do these as bridges, please. Don't tell me I'm... There you go. Regular train, please. I was wondering why it didn't complete the rail construction, but looks like I laid those as bridges and not as regular rail track. That's why it was going back to pick up some bricks. But it should complete quickly now. As long as we increase priority, already send out a train. I'll get the passenger train ready. This might not allow me to select the other station first because it can't find a path. Oh, I guess it does. Pick up workers, drop off workers, go and refuel at the end station. And now we just have to wait for the train track to finish construction. And we'll allow workers to wait here. So we're ready as soon as the train is ready. Okay, this building is also ready. We'll let as many people as want to build it get into the construction site and finish that one right up. So this will be the test run to see if we can bring workers from here to the other town in the time that is allowed to transport people. We don't have any fabric here yet. I will remove electronics and mechanical components for an increase in fabric, so that we can get some fabric delivered here so we can start production. I just clicked away the other train. We now have a rail connection, so the train can actually start riding. And it will pick up a considerable amount of people. So let's hope it works. We have 4 hours. About 4 hours to get to the other town. If we don't make it, we will build an intermediate stop to drop them off, let them stretch their legs and pick them back up to make the trip. So we'll see how far we get. If we can make it with like half an hour to spare, it'll be fine. If it gets too close and we still make it, we might make the intermediate stop anyway. We didn't pick up a lot of people right now, because I didn't make this a transfer station yet. I will do that for the second trip. So they pick up as many people as possible. I just want to see if we can make the trip happen. 3.5 hours left. This is the fastest train that we can have. Might not be the one that accelerates the fastest, but I think it is the fastest that is possible right now. 3 hours. And yeah, if this works, workforces will be gotten locally from the other side, like from the Pardonine passenger platform, and distributed to all the construction sites over there, so they can build things by themselves. 2 hours left. Pardonine is over there. It's looking pretty good, I think. Should be achievable. Like, we would have a train stop right here, I think, to let them get out a little bit, if it isn't enough, but yeah, it looks like we are going to make it. That is almost an hour of time left. That is plenty. So, before you get out, we will do our thing where we keep passengers around for a very long time. We'll drop off a bus platform and we'll tell them to go to the bus platform when they get here, and from the bus platform to go back to the train platform. And can you please drop them off as if it was a transfer station? Thank you. Why doesn't it unload the people right now? Well, maybe next trip. We'll let it be for now. But we can make the trip. At least we know that that is possible. That is good to know. Hopefully the next delivery of workers... Oh, I know why. Because we didn't check the box to accept workers on this stop. So the next ones should be able to. We'll pick up workers locally from the train platform. So we can deliver them to construction sites as needed. And you can be put to auto search. Because you will have workers. Yeah, we'll let that be the construction here. So the train connection works. We can bring workers here in time if we don't have a traffic jam on the rail network. We also have to maybe reduce the amount of workers in the fire station and then allow them the ability to walk into the fire station and work there. Maybe we can stretch out the amount of workers we actually get down here to provide some fire safety. Rovodima is having a disco. I thought I was importing enough electricity, so there must be an issue with the new factory drawing too much power. It's not drawing a lot of power right now. Let's see. .3. It's not a lot of electricity through here. Why is this one running into issues? It's like barely any power consumption. 2 megawatts. We'll turn this to export mode again at 20%. Of course, that's when the amount of workers here drops down. It would be nice if we could transport some fabric over here, so the people can actually work. What about water? No water. Sewage handling is there, but no water. We have a water pipe over here. So we have a connection on that side that we could use. Or we could draw from up here. Let's get a pipe to see the connection. We could draw this one down here, have another switch, and then connect one of these connections down here, which is probably what I will do. And a medium-sized water pipe into a switch down here. And the water pressure should take care of delivery. I am tempted to remove a bunch of foods so we can deliver fabric here, but let's make sure we actually are allowed to import fabric, because I don't think I ever checked that. So no, maybe we are going to get some fabric delivered. I still don't think it's going to happen because there's probably not enough room in this warehouse. There's no train running right now. Electricity problem. You're connected to 2 substations. That one is very overloaded potentially. Maybe I should drop another substation here. Connect one from here into the center of town. The electricity problems are because we don't have enough workers inside the power plant. I am going to relocate some people over. It's getting annoying. There we go. That's enough workers. So hopefully that will take care of the power issues. Where's our train at? I assume it's running some people back to... No, it's still heading towards the train end station. I guess the route is quite long. Refuel. And onto picking up a full load of workers this time. And being actually allowed to drop them off. Well, a full load. As many workers as we have here. So, a few. We need some fabric. Am I just going to delete food in here? Yes, I'm lazy. Alright, we now have 80% capacity free in here. Is the train coming or not? It looks like the answer is no. So, we'll check our train cargo station and see that this one is the wrong one. This one accepts any material and is the right one. We'll turn that up to 100% and see if it sends out a train for fabric. And it does. So, up to 91 tons of fabric. And we'll also start exporting clothing from this platform. You may load clothing if there is more than 50%. Which right now there isn't. There's 50 from 113 tons. Looks like we get another light show. Yeah, electricity problems. Just more workers, please. I would have assumed way more workers would walk here to work. But I guess they also have access to the TV station, so... Let's check Padonin. There's the train. This time accepting workers. And these workers will walk around between the bus platform and the train station until they actually are needed. so we now can do local construction. Still don't have any local road cranes. Let's change that. I'll probably get rid of 4 of these excavators and get 4 road cranes. I could also get tower cranes, but I'm not going to do that. Sure, that one's really expensive. But it can be recolored. We'll get 4 of these. It's fine. Fire station is up. Let's get some fire trucks. Temperature is an issue. Also no power supply. Power supply is not important because refueling is done by the gas station that is nearby. Power supply will cause people to become sick if it's too cold inside. But yeah, we will let people work here as soon as we have the fire trucks, and we'll limit it to like 4 workers or so. And hopefully a train delivery of workers will last a little bit in case there's a fire. Maybe there's enough overlap for where it actually saves us some time. Probably not though. Yeah, 3 workers is not gonna make a dent in that. Okay, we're making our own clothing. I'll have to see how much pollution that creates. Hopefully not too much. And hopefully it will save us some money. Next time we'll be able to set up production of mechanical components for export. And maybe do some of the other necessities, like food could be a thing. Which would also fit up here, since we have clean water to make food and alcohol. We'll see. Hello Wushel, thank you for the raid. How was your race? I hope you had fun. I will be watching the replay of that soon. Happiness is low. Power supply is so inconsistent. Had a good time with your Audi? Did you beat everyone? Was there a lot of accidents? Any information? Or do I have to watch the video? I probably have to watch the video. Also, anyone else, welcome. I'm Das Breitschwert. I drive racing games mostly. And I also play a lot of indie games. Right now, I'm playing a lot of Workers and Resources, which is a game about managing a republic in an Eastern Bloc from 1960 to however long you want to play it. It is a very detailed city skylines kind of game where you build a city. And unlike city skylines, because this is set in a planned economy, you have to build everything manually, so you decide where everyone is, etc. And yes, normally you don't have that many cars. Usually you rely way more on public transportation. So this is more like city skylines than usual. Traffic is usually not that busy, at least not with that many personal cars. We're currently building towards another town area. I've set up Pardonin up here, which has received some industry for construction. It's a train station and a fire station to try and set it up and prepare it for people moving in here at some point, which is where this residential block is going to come in. All of these buildings can hold up to about 330 people, or 330 workers, I should say, which means that this block can hold 1,000 people. We'll build a kindergarten and a school next to it, and that should be enough to supply an industry for gravel processing that I have planned out next to the train or the rail. The train line, I guess. Since our goal for this game is to not use any buses, we are going to rely a lot on personal cars in our first town, all the way over there. And down here I wanted to set up a tram line, so this commercial district for the town, which will have a cinema, a shopping center, will have a tram connection to this residential block. I'm not sure if that's going to work. I just know that a fire is going to do bad things here and destroy the trucks that we just bought. Because we don't have any people living here yet, so the fire station can't do anything. Good times. I'll probably build a helipad and try if maybe we can have some fire safety here with helicopters, even if the water is very far away. Or I just have to get a residential building up as fast as possible. I don't think I had mechanical and electronic components in there yet. I think I just had it here. I think it was still fine. Yes, that warehouse was still empty. There was nothing in it. It was just prepared. We don't get a lot of workers here. Well, had another thing burned down. At least it wasn't full of people. But yeah, that's workers and resources. A game about running a planned economy, and you can think of it as a mixture between city skylines and Factorial. You set up residential buildings, commercial districts, individual complex constructions, and you set up industries. For example, my oil refinery, the thing that is currently making us money. We have it connected to some storage tanks, which are connected to an unloading platform. So what we are doing is we partially pump in oil from an oil well ourselves into an oil storage tank, but that also can receive oil from an unloading platform. So occasionally we have train deliveries come in here, drop off oil, and keep that topped off so our people can always refine oil. That one gets pumped in here, into this pump, into this storage tank, which then gets split between the gas power plant, which uses oil, and the oil refinery. And that one has two outputs, one for fuel, for export, the fuel storage for domestic fuel supply, so I use that one to refuel our vehicles, because every vehicle in the game, if you choose to enable it, has fuel and fuel consumption, so gas stations are kind of important. I don't know why a residential building was very unhappy, but I'm afraid to check. Why are these dropping again? Why is everyone out of food? We are out of food. So, we did set up a warehouse for that, not the prison. We have that warehouse. There you go. Anything is allowed. Go. Food, food, food. People are starving right now, and we are dropping population rapidly because I wasn't paying attention. So hopefully we can provide food again before more people leave. Of course, the first truck had decided that it wants to go elsewhere. It wants to go to Rovidima, which is a village over there that I tried to hook up. And they have also run out of food, so not a good time. But thankfully we discovered it before more than 2,500 people have died. Because the downside with a planned economy is that if you mess up your planning, people are going to have a bad time. More sellers. Hurry up. Everyone needs food. Well, wasn't that fun? What a way to end. Why are we not getting any food here? Because you think you have enough food because this thing is still full and 5% is apparently not enough to pick up food from this warehouse. Let's see. Warehouse, you. Oh, you're set to unload food in here. Well, that was a mistake that I did, so shame on me, I guess. I set the wrong check mark. I didn't get a warning about lack of food, did I? Must have just clicked it away, I guess. No, I didn't check the box to notify me if resources are missing, so another mistake. We will have to regrow our population and hope that this doesn't happen again. Oh well. Anyway, that is going to be the unfortunate end of this stream. Thank you very much for watching. Maybe next time we can try and make back some money. We are currently bleeding a lot because I took out a bunch of loans that I have to repay. 4 million in total. And we've been fighting against that ever since. But yeah, that's for another day. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And have a good rest of your Saturday evening, Saturday night. And as always, maybe I'll see you next time. I should probably go to the correct screen where I want to end it first. About here. I want the train station in view. Man, losing that many people again, so annoying. Anyway, have a good evening.